good, everybody? How's it going? You already know it is Sunday. You already know it goes down. You're vibing with your boy, Young Yasha 46, coming at you live this Sunday night. Yes, it is June 1st, 2025. As you can see on what's going on right now, you are seeing there is I have a pride thing going on my Twitch end, my YouTube end, and my Kick end. And I'm just plain Jane on the IG end. So yeah, we this of course June 1st. We started off Pride Month. Well, just started Pride Month. Pardon rainbows. This guy. Pardon rainbows. Yo, imagine pardon them rainbows and shit. Shitting out rainbows. But the but all jokes aside, I support the LGBTQIA plus community. I'm a supporter of them. So yeah, that's why I'm using this theme throughout the whole month of June. I know, Kitty. I know. Here.
What's goodies?
What's goodies? Goodies. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening and hello, chimichangas.
Uh, so, yes, time does have fly. Like we're already in June. Can y'all believe it? Yeah.
I thought you said you don't like that word, huh? What's wrong with you? Nah, let me stop. But anyways, back what you're saying?
Yes, I do support the LGBTQIA plus community.
Same here.
So, shout out to those in the community. This is we all right here. I know, better late than never, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just let's say my desktop is taking its sweet ass time to run it through. Got that shit stuck in the wolf brain. Oh my god.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Stick on with your future girlfriend once you get one. Once she's an eagle or a hyena, whatever.
Whatever the fuck it is.
Yep.
So yeah, no. June just started. Exactly a year ago today that I went to Long Beach, Long Island.
Almighty.
Like, you never been there before though, babe, because I did show you the shots of when I was over there.
That's why I said almighty, because I like your photos, babe.
Yeah. And also, I showed you there was a Honduran spot over there.
Oh yeah, you did show me, and I got happy.
You was like, nah, you for real? I was like, it's for real.
Well then.
But of course, you got your pizza shops over there, your Chinese food over there. But 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 the beach over there is really nice, which explains why I picked the final beach hangout at Long Beach, Long Island, which will be on Saturday, July 26th from 2:30 to 8. So we all picked. Wolfie and I picked it out. So nicer than your fur, kitty fur.
Like her, like her, that's all I got. Like her, like her.
Nicer than your kitty
I
fur.
don't forget what's the name of the song, but I'll tell you guys what I'm talking about.
Speaking of fur, I gotta shave my cat fur. But yeah, this weekend is not so warm, but it's gonna creep up later this week. I know I didn't do a regular Sunday vibing with Yasha last week, and didn't do Miko Monday last week, but it will come back tomorrow on the regular as a regular Monday.
Regular Monday.
Yes, regular Mondays in the afternoon, Miku Monday. You already know the vibe.
Right past.
But as a new addition for late Monday nights, I'll be playing Marvel Rivals. Yep, you heard that right. So we're gonna have a little Marvel Rival action on late Monday nights, 30 minutes after Raw finishes. Yo, you gotta repaint Castiel's eyes though. You gotta repaint his eyes though, because his eyes are fading.
I know, little Cassie has eyes and a little bit. However, you're Sonny.
Baby Sonic.
I finally get myself a new cube. Can I show it? I'm so far notice.
Yes.
I show you my new cube.
Yes, and the OTC, and yes, Angel, the OTC is on this live. OTC, 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 OTC.
Oh, wait, hold on, wait. This is for a reminder. If anybody wants roll signs, DM me in private. I'm selling for $10 each.
Yes. Nah. And also, when I read some articles early today, right, that Apple is planning to put their OSs with the number 26 with all their OSs on their products. So iOS is. We all thought iOS and iPadOS was gonna be 19, but it turned out to be 26. Oh. Someone wants to join in. Is it Frey?
Wait, what the fuck? You motherfucker? Wait, hold it. Hello?
Oh?
Wait, did you kick Wolfie out the stream?
No.
Oh.
Indeed.
Okay, that's weird. Because it always shows me and you here, and then I'm like, where did Wolfie go? Oh, it says also watching this live video. Okay, where the hell should Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, but anyways,
So it's showing the both of us on your end.
nope, just you.
That's weird.
Maybe we'll be end up.
Well, it says on my end that she's also watching this live video. I'm like, wait, I thought you could put three people on the stream, or
Yep.
because I know some people had done it. I'm like, wait, what the hell happened?
No, I'm still here. Still here. I'm still here. Nope, still here. Still here. Still here. So, anyways, that's what I was saying. But I did read articles that Apple is gonna use the number 26 on all their OSs.
Oh shit.
So yeah, I thought it was going to be iOS 19 and iPadOS 19, but nope, it is going to be iOS 26 and iPadOS 26.
Oh damn.
And
Yeah, I was hearing about that. I was like, oh wow, they tried to do like what Samsung does because they're doing because they going by like based on what the physical year is and everything. That's where the 26 comes from because technically in the corporate world they start their fiscal year in July.
yeah, yeah, Samsung with the S series, like the S24, S25, like current one is the S25 because it came out in 2025.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true because usually Samsung release their phones like early in the year. So it's like they what do you call it? Yeah, because that's usually like this is like the ending of fiscal year 25 right now. So like once July 1st comes around, it's going to be fiscal year 26.
Yes. And
so that's a lot of people. So it's messing up a lot of people, you know, in that sense. But I noticed it because there's some people that's like it should stay the way it was, but I think a lot of people need to understand some corporate jargon a little bit to
yes.
realize like this where 26 is actually coming from.
Yes. And also like in back in the end of 2019, and like we all thought it's gonna be the S11 and the S11 Plus, but nope, it turned out to be the S20s.
That's true.
If you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that messed up a lot of people too.
But I just went with the flow.
Yeah, I know it messed up some people because I thought that it was going to be 11 or some shit, but nope.
It turned out to be
S20.
Turned out to be 20s because phones came out in 2020. And also, they also try to follow up with the other games like NBA 2K26, Madden 26.
Oh wow, yeah, that's right. Because some video games do that too.
And like also macOS, I thought it's gonna be macOS 16, but it's gonna be macOS 26.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they want to do. Yeah, I read that they want to do it across the whole Apple lineup.
Yep. But we finally got a name. At least I'm happy with that.
Huh? Well then.
Yeah, it's gonna be called macOS Tahoe. A reference to Lake Tahoe in California.
I was thinking more of the truck thing, Chevy Tahoe.
Oh, Chevy Tahoe.
Yeah.
Chevy's America.
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 America. Freaking America.
But of course, WatchOS, tvOS, and Vision, and now Vision OS now they're gonna use the number 26.
Oh damn. Yeah, I read that part. I didn't read the Mac OS part because I think the article where I was reading it from, they were more like, iPhone centric people. That's what it was.
Yeah. And also, I was like, but we'll figure it out on next Monday when WWDC happens.
Oh yeah, that's right. Next week. Huh.
Next week is WWDC week.
Oh shit.
And also, just a few weeks away, the Queen's Bus redesign part 1 starts.
Oh yeah.
Sunday, June 29th.
Basically, it's basically the part two. Part I would say part two is basically going to be like the LaGuardia and GFK Depot routes. Everybody else is going to be June 29th.
So most routes is Sunday, June 29th. Some routes may start Monday, June 30th.
That depends on. Well, but vast majority of routes will be June 29th. June 30th will be like the express bus, like the new QF65, the downtown to Lowerton service. That will be June 30th because that's a weekday only route.
Yes.
So JFK and Far Rockaway and LaGuardia routes will be changed over where the fall pick starts.
Yes. And also, the X63, X64, and X68 are going to be QM routes now.
Yep. They already put the bus stop signs up already.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that yesterday on 23rd and Lex, and I shared it with Wolfie.
Oh wow, yeah. They put them up around in my neck of the woods too, especially Briarwood. They put up the new signs for the QS6. I got to look at 78th Avenue probably later this week because that's probably going to be interesting because it's probably going to be say QF63, QF64, QF65, QF68. I know that's going to be a busy looking stop because it will be like because that stop Queens Boulevard and 78th Avenue in question going towards Manhattan.
Yep. But I know they're all rush hour routes, though.
Yeah, just about. So no, but I definitely looking forward to some of the changes, but then there's some others that's like I'm having a hard debate on how successful, what you call it, how successful it's going to be. Like there's one that I'm having a hard debate on, and that's the Q90. That's the replacement for the Q48.
Yes.
I kind of feel like that's probably the one route that I see getting changes right away.
Yes.
Because it's just I feel like they're cutting because my familiarity with the Q48 and the Q48s between that and the Q90 is going to be a little bit of an iffy situation because I think personally, if they would have had added a stop like say a Dimbar to 94, that would have been good.
Yeah.
But the answer is that fine. If you don't want to serve Marine Air, that's okay. I'm cool with that. But it's not serving what's that street? 23rd Avenue.
Yes.
Right by LaGuardia Depot along that stretch. Yeah, they cut out that stretch entirely, and now you have to take the 33, but at least for the summer, the 33 or the 47, to get over to it. But even then, you got to walk to 102nd and Denmar's. So that's my my biggest gripe about it. is that I feel like they're cutting out a significant ridership base. If they're thinking like, oh, okay, the Q23 can handle, you know, the northern part of Waterloo Street, which is okay, but then at the same time, I think it's just cutting. I felt like they cut a lot of quarters with that.
That's true. That's true.
In that regard. So that, and then there's some changes that's like, like I was hearing rumors that what do you call it? Now there's a rumor that supposedly one of the bus routes that was supposed to go to Grand Avenue, the Q39.
Yeah, that's what I was been scratching my head for. I was like, wait a minute, Q39. That's a LaGuardia route. There.
Yeah, there's gonna be some MTA bus routes into
New York City Transit, and some of the New York City Transit routes are going to turn into MTA bus routes. Not all of them, but some of them.
At least three of them on top of my head: the Q26, the Q28, and the Q32.
Yeah, that's what scratches my head. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, the 26 and the 28 is going to be out of College Point
instead of Casey.
And then the Q32 is going to be out of LaGuardia
instead of Casey. But in my opinion, the Q32 should be under Quill because the last stop is not too far off from Quill.
Yes, that's true because there's some runs, believe it or not, there's some runs on the Q32 that start and end their day right at Penn Station. Mm-hmm. They never changed that since the 2010 service cuts.
I remember that one time on the in 2000, like around 2009, 2010, before the budget cuts, right? I remember that the Q32 was a shared route with Quill and Casey.
Yes, right around the service cuts of 2010 happened, they gave the Q32 to Casey in its entirety. The reason being is because it was to compensate for the loss of the X51 and the Q74, two of the routes that got eliminated from that depot. So now I know Casey is now going to get Q58 and then the Q58 and the
Q98
and the Q. Well, yeah, but that's a new route though. But I'm not counting that. Q58 and the Q38. Well, at least the new version of the Q38, which that's going to be split. Which the Q38 that's going to be split up. So, which the Regal Park to Richwood Ave will be the Q38. That's going to be operated by Stengel. And then the Left Rack City to Ridgewood Ave are the Q38, which is along Elliott Avenue. That's going to be part of the Q14.
Q14 is going to be a new route. And then I know for sure that the Q14 will be a Fresh Pond route.
Yes, that's correct.
Because it makes perfect sense for the Q14 to go to Fresh Pond because it's not too far from the damn depot.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. But you really think about it, the reason why the 38 really should go to Fresh Pond too, but here's a reason why it went to Casey. Because the interesting fact is that in Casey, the Q26, that's a high seniority route, actually.
Yeah.
But because they're losing a high seniority, in fact, the straight runs on there is super senior. Like you have to have a single digit peg number to get those runs, and they all split.
Yeah.
So now, but all the others, like the miscellaneous runs, like you do like U-26 one half, and then you do some other thing, the second half.
Yeah.
They call them miscellaneous runs. That's like a Queens. That's like a Queens and Staten Island thing for anybody who don't realize that. That's a Queens and Staten Island thing. So that's generally high seniority. So they have to. So the Q38 is going to compensate for that because when you really think about it, the Ridgewood to Regal Park part of the Q38, going through all the tight streets of Middle Village and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's the quieter part of the Q38. So that's most likely going to end up being high seniority.
Yes.
For Dingo. So they had to give them something that's kind of like a quote unquote country club route.
Yeah, like with the Q20 with the BX24.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know BX24. Yeah, I heard that BX24 is definitely high seniority. I think also the BX46 too, to an extent.
Yeah, the BX46, it's not much of a good route, anyways.
Well, that's in terms of frequency.
And also, whatchamacallit, the Q51, I know it's going to be a new route. I'm predicting that it's going to be under Baisley.
Yes, that's correct, because I confirmed this from a driver that I know from Baisley Park. He's an old timer who's been on the Q64 ever since they got it, over 10 years ago.
Yes, and Q64 used to be under LaGuardia, and before that, it was under College Point.
No, it was actually it was actually always been under College Point.
Yes. Then it went to LaGuardia for a short while, because I remember seeing XBs running on that route.
No, that's incorrect, because it was always a College Point route, but then College Point they had some LaGuardia loaners on there. Yeah, for a short period of time, because of it had to be like in the early 2010s that you're talking about, because they were doing some because I think they had some issues with the Orion 5C and Gs right around where the C40LS were coming in.
Yes. Okay.
So yeah, they were loners.
But
they had a few. Yeah, just like what's going on right now, where you got College Point with some loners here and there.
And the Q74, I think the Q74 is going to be a Queens Village route, maybe.
Actually, that's a College Point route.
Q74 with College Point. Interesting.
Yeah, because I saw that on the LaGuardia not the LaGuardia. Because they saw the run sheets on this, because College Point, Union got a website where you could view the run sheets, and I saw that they had the Q74 on the run sheets because they got it interlined with the Q64.
Right.
Because there's some runs on both the 64, like say some of the 64 runs, you do like a round trip on the 74, and then you go back up to the 64, or and vice versa.
Yes, and I know that the and on top of that, College Point, I know the Q63 is going to be a College Point route because it's going to be a limited variant for the Q66.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's definitely correct. And I noticed that just about every College Point route, except for the Q25, will have half-hourly overnight service, which the 25, for some strange reason, they didn't put half-hourly late night service, overnight
fuck? And the Q82 is gonna follow the old Q110 route.
Part of it. It's a butt route. It's like part 110 and part 36.
And rumor has it that the Q82 is gonna be a Queens Village route.
Yeah, that's going to be a QV route.
And the Q83 most likely gonna switch over to Jamaica.
Actually, I haven't heard. I haven't heard that, but most likely no, because I heard that the Q75, which is basically a short-term Q30 that got rebranded, is going to be out of QV.
Like, might as well put the Q76 to Queens Village. Just saying.
See, I mean, the 76. No, it probably would be better in Jamaica, but no, because the 76 is still going to be as is, but
with them KC.
But the Rowdy Rod is still going to end the College Point. It's getting extended, but at the same time, it's being rerouted. Like, it will no longer make that, like, right by the Whitestone Bridge, instead of making that turn onto Parsons, it's going to continue going straight down 14th Avenue to the last stop. The last stop will be where the Q20B currently ends.
Okay, that explains it.
Yeah, that's basically the 76 is getting rerouted and extended to replace the 20, to pretty much replace the 20B.
Right. But also, I know that the Q115 is going to be a Baisley route.
Yes, that's true. And that's basically, the 115 is basically the 111 short term.
Okay, that explains it. Also, what route? That's popping up my head right now. The Q67, that switching over to Grand Avenue, that actually makes perfect sense for the Q67 turning to New York City Transit as part of Grand Avenue.
Yeah, I honestly feel like that should have been a fresh phone route, honestly. But then again, the reason why both the 39 and 67 is going to Grand is because it's close to But in a way, Grand is a little more closer to Long Island City than Fresh Pond.
And College Point and LaGuardia.
Because LaGuardia and College Point, they're more further out, especially College Point.
Yeah, because College Point, they're more focused on around Flushing and Elmhurst, East Elmhurst, mostly.
Yeah, but once the redesign happens, their focus is actually going to be more like mostly northeastern Queens, because they're going to get the Q28 of Bengal. So it's like the local routes they will have is the 25, the 65, the 66, the 64, the 74, the 63, 26, and 28. Which, by the way, the 26 will be extended to College Point, taking over the 65 path from Flushing to College Point.
Yes.
Because they're cutting the 65 short at Flushing. But the 65 will no longer take Brown Street, Battle Street, that tight ass street over there.
Yeah, and the Q26 is gonna replace the Q34 on a good portion of that.
Actually, no, that's the Q61.
Oh, right. Q61, right. Which, of course, Q61 is going to be part of Casey.
Yeah, that was part of Casey, yes, because the 61 is practically going to be like an extended northern half of the 34.
Right.
But it's going to go Beechhurst, Paul's Cove.
Oh, to replace the 15A, right?
Well, it was the 15 is still going to go up there. However, from what I was reading, is going to 15. The 15 is going to be probably more or less a modified 15A routing. So, however, my understanding of Beechhurst is just like, I scratching my head on that one because it's like, do those folks out there really need two different bus routes? Particularly, that's why I kind of felt like because the 61 is going to go up, it's going to go down Wellers Point, and then it will go up Francis Lewis, and then go over the regular 15 route once it gets by the Cross Island to go to Beechhurst.
Right, and also the Q21 is going to go bye-bye.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's the August. Yeah, that's like the August 31st change. Yes. The 11 and the 21 is getting merged.
With some parts are going to be merged with the Q11. Some parts is going to merge with the Q52.
No, just the 11 because the 52 isn't going to be changed except for like the extending it a short distance in the Rockaway. But I forgot offhand how far it's not that far of an extension though, from my understanding. I have to re-look that up, but yeah, the 11 and the 21 is basically going to be merged because what's going to happen is that instead of the 11 turning and picking and taking the side streets to Howard Beach, it's going to take over the 21, go through Lindenwood, and then go across 157th Avenue and it will resume the 11 route, the regular 11 route in Howard Beach, which is going to be a very good extension, and also that would mean that Lindenwood will finally get 24-hour bus service too. Because currently, right now, the 11 on the overnight only goes to Pickett.
Yes.
Pickett across Bay. But they're going to extend that to go through Lindenwood and end at Cross Bay at 157 on the overnight. It won't serve Howard Beach, Old Howard Beach.
Yeah,
on the overnight.
Yeah, something that the 52 and the 53 never done before.
No, they 52, the 52 and the 53 just stay on Cross Bay and wouldn't even.
Yes. They're not the only thing the redesign, they didn't touch the 44 or the 53. They left these two routes alone.
Well, I know there was consideration for the 44 to be extended
to the Fordham Transit Center, but that didn't. Yeah. But which of course that didn't make out well.
Yeah, my understanding is that it's some constraints. So right, they might look into it in the future, but not now.
Which of course because they think that extending it to the Fordham Transit Center is gonna cost a lot more money.
Well, Fordham Transit Center? I didn't know there was such a thing as Fordham Transit Center. There's no such thing. You mean Fordham Plaza?
Yes, but some say that it might change to the Fordham Transit Center.
I believe it when I see it.
Some say, but who knows?
Yeah, that's too early to tell. I mean, that sounds more like pure rumor mill.
Mm-hmm.
But that, yeah, it's definitely because it definitely would cost a little more money to do because you would have to add some buses to the route.
Because you could think about it, that Fordham Plaza feels a lot more like a transit center, if anything.
Kind of, yeah.
Because it's similar to Because it's similar to the White Plains Transit Center.
Kind of. I mean, kind of, but then again, thank you for reminding me about the White Place Transit Center, which I just noticed this, and because when I was up there really recently, I just looked into this. Apparently, CT Transit Stanford Division do not have MCIs anymore.
Excelsiors, LFSs.
They got Excelsiors now for Hartford, the one in the Express scheme. Yeah, because it turns out to be that they recently did a swap where they sent the MCIs that was in Stanford up to Hartford, and Hartford sent down the Excelsiors to the Express scheme. Because I was seeing, because apparently, so now the iBus, aka the 971, now only runs the XD40 with the CT Transit Express scheme. And I saw it for myself. I saw 2069 on it. I was like, wait, what the hell? So it turns out that it's recently swapped it. I was like, oh crap. I'm like, okay. Looks like I gotta take a ride on that one of these days. So there's no more MCIs. There's no more MCIs on the iBus.
Yes, and speaking of MCIs, the whatever's left of the MTA bus MCIs, they're gonna go bye-bye because the newer Prevost X345s are coming along its way.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's right. They're supposed to be coming either at the end of this year or next year.
Yes, because I heard 1633 is at Eastchester right now.
What?
Yup, 1633 at Eastchester. So I'm guessing 1633 to 1666 will be part of Eastchester. 1667 to 1699 is gonna go to College Point.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's crazy though. That you're going to get 1666.
And the 1700s and the 1700s and 1800s, it's gonna scatter all over with other MTA bus depots like Far Rock, LaGuardia, Spring Creek.
Yeah, because that, you know what's crazy? I kind of wish that 1666 was going to be College Point because College Point got 1313. You know, because remember, some people think that the number 13 is a bad omen.
Yes, 1313.
Yeah.
And Eastchester. Yeah, Eastchester had 1333, but it was sent over to College Point.
Oh, I think that was just a short-term loan. That's what it was.
Okay, that explains it.
Yeah, so it was never like officially Eastchester.
Because I know 1631. Because I know 1631 and 1632 is sitting at Zariga. That I know.
Oh, I've been wondering about 1631.
Yeah, 1631 and 1632 is sitting at Zariga. And 1633 is sitting at Eastchester.
Oh wow!
And while the rest of 1634 to 18 something, they're coming its way.
Oh shit!
They're gonna kill off whatever's left the MTA bus MCIs.
Yeah. Wow.
And then eventually the ex New Jersey Transit MCIs. Because the NCA, they're not going to have the ex New Jersey Transit NCIs for the long run. They're not going to.
Yeah, that's right, because it was yeah, because they're mainly purely for like extension buses, because they did a slight increase in service just recently, and also because of get this, because of the with the A-Train service change that happened, that just already happened, they extended the QM15 to Arbor, so Far Rock needed more buses.
Mm-mm.
So Spring Creek sent some 1500s over. They're supposed to go back, but I don't think that's going to happen because of the QM65. That's supposed to be a JFK route, so they would need buses. And then on top of that, they are thinking about an article that I just found just recently. They are thinking about probably making the QM15 Auburn service, off-peak and weekend service, permanent.
Yeah, they're working on that. They're working on that.
Yeah, because I read the article, and there was a lot of, I heard that there was a lot of positive feedback about the QM15 Auburn service. They're thinking about possibly making that a permanent thing. Mm-hmm. And this is something, and believe it or not, it's the same, that QM15 Auburn thing is going down the same path like what happened with the weekend X27 and X28 service.
Yeah.
Because how that happened? They did the X27, X28 weekend service during the time when the Coney Island Stillwell Avenue station was closed for rehabilitation.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was like, I don't remember if it was a full closure or they only had one train route. But either way, during that time of the Stillwell Avenue station rehabilitation, they implemented the X27 and the X28 weekend service. So, but after the station got, done with its rehab, they kept that running and it was made permanent. But then again, later on, it got discontinued due to the 2010 service cuts, but it came back 5 years later after some people managed to successfully complain to the MTA about the loss of the service.
Yep.
Which now, they actually, the 27 and the 28 on the weekends actually do carry surprisingly not too bad of a ridership though.
Right.
So it's going down the same. So the QM15 Albert service is practically going down the same path.
Yeah.
So.
And the what am I saying here? All right. Yes. Well, that did covered up some parts of the Queen's Bus redesign, but we're gonna get back to that in the upcoming weeks. This is all the time I have here, guys. If you like this stream, guys, awesome. I appreciate that. If you feel like liking and subscribing, please feel free to do so. And don't forget to check out my chat party, and feel free to show a little love at streamlabs.com/youngyasha46. And
say that Kitty Whisker stinks. Anyway.
Okay, so I will see you guys next time, and let the new week